There's a story in 3 of the Gospels which tells about a woman who'd been suffering from a condition which meant that she'd been constantly bleeding for 12 years. And she'd gone to doctor after doctor, and her entire savings had been spent on trying to cure herself. And not only was there no cure, but she actually went from bad to worse. But she'd heard about Jesus and said to herself, if I could just touch his cloak, or as one translation says, the hem of his garment, I know I'll be healed. So the crowds were pressing in on Jesus and the disciples, and she made her way through and eventually reached his cloak and touched it, and she was completely and immediately healed. Jesus turns and says, who touched me? And the disciples laughed and said, who touched you? The entire crowd is pressing against you. Any number of people touched you. Jesus said, no, this was different. As this person touched me, I felt the power of the Lord released from me. Who was it then, he said, who touched me? And this dear woman comes forward on her knees, trembling with fear, and tells him the whole truth, the whole story. Imagine him looking down into her eyes and smiling at her and saying, daughter, your faith has healed you. Go, you're set free. And that one woman went away, and I don't know how many people she must have told about this remarkable, miraculous incident in her life. I think perhaps she went for as long as she lived telling the story about this remarkable incident. I think only a woman can fully appreciate what it must be like to constantly bleed for 12 years. But her faith prompted her, inspired her, gave her tenacity to come through the crowd and touch the garment of Jesus. There is a verse in the Gospels that said, as many as touched him with faith were made perfectly whole. What a wonderful, wonderful experience to be in a serious condition and reach out and just touch the garment or the body of Jesus and be completely healed. Such was the power of God in him as he walked through the crowds. You say, so what? What's this story say to you? It speaks to me of her incredible tenacity, her determination, and her faith. And why God answers in some situations instantly and why he takes time, I'll never know. But all I want to say to you is continue to ask, continue to seek, continue to knock, be tenacious. The Bible is quite clear that at times God only intervenes because we pray. It's his sovereign choice, sometimes not to act because we fail to pray. John 16:24 says, so far you haven't asked and you haven't received, so ask and you will receive. And we're all tempted to give up, particularly if we've been praying for someone or a situation for year after year after year. And all I want to say to you is don't give up. Keep on keeping on. And God may in his mercy intervene miraculously, or it may not. It's his choice. But he calls on us to pray constantly and to, if I may say reverently, badger him in prayer with grace and humility, calling on his highest willingness to intervene in your life. And doubtless this Christmas period you'll be reminded of prayers that are yet to be answered. And what I want to say to you is keep on keeping on.